time to go ahead and attach all the arms and drive shafts. So I'll just do as I did last time and start with the front. So first we're going to do the front axle carriers, and these slide into place, and a shoulder screw goes in from the top and from the bottom, and it's the same thing for the other side. Okay, now that that's into position, I need to go ahead and get the A-arm, slide that straight into that groove, then a pin goes in right through the back. Now that that is taken care of, I can move on to pushing in the bearings. A big one goes on the inside, and a smaller one goes on the outside. Then we're going to get the drive shaft, slide that through, just like that. Then we got a Teflon washer, followed by a little metal bar that goes through that hole, and it's topped off with a wheel hex hub. Snap that down and do the same thing for the other side. With each side done, I can finally move on to the Camberlinks. So I'm just going to slide that into that groove, and a screw goes in right through the top. And now I can move on back to the front assembly, and I need to attach the top of the drive shafts. So the drive shaft slides right on to that part right there, and then a grub screw goes right through that hole. And now I can finally attach the arms. So I'm going to get the drive shaft, make sure that slides on through, and then the Camberlink gets attached to the shock tower right there with a screw. And now I'm going to move on to the turnbuckle and attach that to the steering block using one screw. And now it's the identical process for the other side. And now it's time to move on to the back. So I'm just going to go ahead and start off with attaching the axle carriers. They are held into the A-arm using a pin that goes in through the back. Now I can move on to pushing the bearings into the axle carrier, and the rear drive shafts need two Teflon washers. One that goes on the drive shaft before it goes through the axle carrier, and then another one that goes on top. Then we can get that little metal bar, slide that through the hole, and then finally snap on the wheel hex hub. After that, we can attach the link using one screw that attaches to the top of the axle carrier. And there we have it. And a quick note, the Camberlink goes on the back. Now I can move back on to the rear assembly and attach the top of the drive shafts. And they're attached the same way as I did with the front. And now it's time to go ahead and attach the rear arms. So just line up the drive shaft, slide that down, flip it to the back, and the Camberlink attaches to the rear shock tower right there. And with the rear Camberlinks attached, I am done for this video.